Sorry, 21.3. Say inflation about 5.4 according to the Ghana Statistical Service. You get me? Okay. Now the exchange rate here about 14.7. Say the exchange rate is 10.63. It says 8 or okay, let me call it 10 points. It's a 10 Ghana cedis. All right. So President Mahama is saying that we have to keep the dollar from 10 to 12. That is that. Then you take our food inflation. The food inflation is from 21% flat, 21.0% to 6.6%, and that is that. And the fuel prices also also by 15% and all that. But you see, people are saying President Mahama Wayade. Yes, if say he has done well. The gold board or the bar, it is helping us to make sure that the dollar will be strong and the cedi will be strong and all that. President Mahama has done well. But there's one hero that this country we have forgotten to, eulogize him or praise him. It's this man called lawyer Edward G. Tamaklo. This is not sycophant, this is not bootlicking. I have sat down and I realized that, look, in this country, Bibia ayekasem. The other time that I went to La Paz to buy shea butter, the woman that I buy the shea butter from, the woman here about to about shea butter here 7 cedis. It's about 12 cedis. I asked her, ma, I didn't think here about to about. Nay, say the woman about say, no, say Debbie say almost so about the car and coffee bar. But your take us to cash 15, your take us cash by 15%. So all these things now, normal a child say kasika kosra, kasika kosra, and normal eco. Honestly speaking, inflation and the food inflation eco. 80 fuel price na yatesono. How come the fuel price ni it be baffled? Okay, so let's start the journey. This man here is a lawyer, Edward G. Tamaklo. Is the chief executive officer at the NPA, National Petroleum Authority. Now, if you watch the National Petroleum Authority, we share our mandate. Some of the mandate is to make sure say fuel na yetono. Fuel ayetono the OMCs no. Omo fuel so omo be tone sa no man na you make sure say the price now omo dey gino ebe the normal price that they have done the calculation see emfa and emfa sa price ni emfa. You get me? Also make sure say consumers no we will get value for money. And also one thing so they say obi hoarding fuel no fan koshe baby no one shut down kase fuel na is scarce and I say fuel no bo ayede. It takes the OMC, the NPA to regulate and do all these things, and to also make sure say as I see a titi fuel so I'm gonna buy me a titi fuel so say OMC CDB D and Nyambrase business and Koya I'm gonna make sure say side in the beba. So this man took over NPA and pay his books. He said it about 2 weeks ago. I sent it to his office and I'll catch and say, definitely as if we on prices ne above from. We did not understand him. And people said that Papa as why you should do. But indeed, the fuel prices ya so 15 good percent. And on the compare the GPRTU and the GTCC4 together with the concerned drivers and the transport ministry, sat down and decided that we slash the lorry fare by 15%. And yet, lorry fare so by 15%. So the lorry fare 15% in the and no common number inflation about from. In case you don't know, because listen. Yet lorry fares to 15% no say mameno kwa bobloshi dwom okwa asafo market okwa kotokraba dwom okwa tamale dwom so okwa ho dwom so okwa kejetia na okwa kofa no mana what the bad destination as no twa 10 Ghana cedis no twa loading fee 20 Ghana 30 Ghana about the best price nim but now that na eswati by 15% no and no man no ebe stable it is that see to kra because some mamini tin kran kwa dia it should reflect on the Jumana oil. So this man is behind it. So in case you don't know, media, honestly speaking, I think that the inflation and the food inflation, Arabwe Eric Opoku has really done well as one of the best agric ministers we have ever had in the Fourth Republic. But the food inflation and the inflation in general, the 6.6% and the 5.4% also can be attributed to this man because if this man so one problem baba there's one thing that this man has done And let me show you to you quickly. Let's watch because you see the NPA Act, the NPA Act, the National Petroleum Authority Act, Act 691. Act 691 in 2008, the functions of it is to make sure say Ghana debia yebenya fuel yan kosala nkoto fuel biem and now almost ademra or demra extracted from the same act which say wow bema fuel odi fuel be kwakosie na beba be catch a fuel ho ayedi yebetimi achew ajelu. So this man is doing all these things to make sure that people don't sabotage the government and all that. So I doff my heart for this man. He's a hero somewhere, but you sure no other people that we watch. So we necessarily Edward G. Tomeklo. He has done something that very, very paramount that I have to discuss with you. So quickly, let's watch the Hawk newspaper. Quickly, let's watch the Hawk newspaper. Be very fast for me. Okay, so this is the Hawk newspaper, including other newspapers. Made a reportage on which I say, Premise fuel drops sharply in January review. So the premise fuel are dropping. The premise fuel and the body and no na afare for the quite episode boat abo boat to and no near the egum near the power and near the episode and if we be and you do no you find the promise. Now premise no, it is very, very expensive. Nibo de pa eti ye denya this man Edward G. Tamaklo reported by McCarthy, my brother, saying that the fuel the premise fuel are dropping by 18%. And that in mind too, he makes sure that the thing is being reduced per the NPA law. No? But elsewhere, no, people will sit down to make sure say cost so that they can get the attack, their cuts. Normally, you should say they are quite different, but this man wants us to feel that the NPA is working. So if you watch the graphic online, let's watch the how graphic online was also reported the whole thing. The graphic online, yes. So this is the graphic online. Say price of premix fuel reduces significantly in January 2026. So a reduce here, the quickly the Edward G. Tamaklo quickly not what premix premix fuel. So it tells you that it says me no be kasa no me no say yen ma pardon afare for your farm afare for na omo eton premix no omo kwa eposo no enam say so reduce by 18%. It's likely say enne ya koton nsuomunam ewa abonte a eno so no esedebo eba form. That is the good work. So I'm saying that this man bring back Edward G. Tamaklo, bring back the man. So I'm saying that look, President Mahama Namamone Koso Yabo Same Jamfidin says Same Jamfi has done well. Same Jamfi has done well. The gold board to make sure that you see the neighbor strong. You get me? Same Jamfi Juma and almost 10 billion Ghana cedis or 10 million Ghana cedis at the share economy to make sure that the city neighbor strong. Yabo Atofos Nabaso Yabo the Bank of Ghana governor. So Yabo Honorable Eriko Poku, Yabo Nabaso, but there's a certain man who is making sure that the food inflation and also food inflation and inflation in general will come down by way of dropping or cutting down the percentage of fuel. It's a basana case kadaba from as quickly na and normal about from. So I doff my heart for this man. He has really done well, and so say continue like that. But one target and one culture and say, and they said the way said be backfire. In fact, a bit me a cost we don't have no problem. Say normal cost a cost we have no problem. We report it. But say or this or yeah, dear be a council they should allow us to say it. Ye President Edward G. Tamaklo is a hero. He has done well. Premise fuel above from gun diesel petroleum product gas be above from gas and be 10 Ghana cedis and be above 5 Ghana cedis. Nini na papa we say na masado ba nini na ba. Ye bona baso name of say normal and koye ni e kan. They should shut up. They should keep quiet for us to say it. So congratulations. You have really done well. Congratulations. Okay, so it's a forgetting oversight hero. That we put it that way. Okay, so quickly let's move to the second item. This is Hassan, we have to do exercise. So let's see President Mahama and Fifi Fiave Kwete quickly. Let's see President Mahama and Fifi Fiave Kwete. All right. So this thing that people don't get me. All right, so thank you very much and welcome back to the program. So let's watch Fifi Kwete, the video of Fifi Kwete. 31st December, now almost celebrating President Mahama's 31st movement, or President John Jerry Rawlings, the 31st coup, Afibia almost celebrating. This year, the Fifi Kwete through bombshell. I hope say this video is not new to you. It is a video. It is all over the place. Watch this video and I'm about to cast me fan show.
A bunch of sycophants. And that's why you hear some of those people even urging statements like there should be a third term. It's just nothing but sycophancy. Pure sycophancy and bootlicking of the highest order. Jerry Rawlings, who was the founder of this party, never at any point was urged by anybody to go for any third term. You have a bunch of sycophants who today think that all they need to do is to sing praises and hoping that somehow those praises will get them some opportunities that they are looking for. You don't love our country. You don't love our party. If you do, you will know besides sycophants. And that's why you hear some of those people even urging statements like there should be a third term. It's just nothing but sycophancy. Pure sycophancy and bootlicking of the highest order. Jerry Rawlings, who was the founder of this party, never at any point was urged by anybody to go for any third term. You have a bunch of sycophants who today think that all they need to do is to sing praises and hoping that somehow those praises will get them some opportunities that they are looking for. You don't love our country. You don't love our party. If you do, you will know besides sycophants.
National Democratic Congress. All right. National Democratic Congress. Okay. So, Kwete is saying that Obi Obeka say President Mahama Nkotete Biana or you bootlicker or ye bootlicker or ye psychophantist or ye hwehwanimu sanko for omo ye bibia Mahama pa o masem se ne be ya ombenya bibi e de afri honom. You see, adentina papa we ko kan asem we see. Because President Mahama has already said it with Japan. Say uncontested bi. Okay. Adentina papa we be kasa de we see. Because everybody knows that the Article 66, a bear President Mahama to contest for the third time. I did remember the chief executive officer of the party. Sorry, no, we see. It's simple like ABCD. President Mahama kept quiet too long. President Mahama, he kept quiet too long because listen, before the elections, and no man yensa and then the board President Mahama, you the board the cheaper. The kind say the free senior high school was so about better free senior high school. Or bad the nursing training allowance no or be cancel the teacher training allowance or be cancel the free honor. And the other one was the third term, Sir President Mahama. So about best constitutional third term. Okay. Then President Mahama did a video during the electionary campaign 2024 last year. And what your video say, me John Dramani Mahama, a son of whatever Mahama, me say me ba na dia free senior high school me twam da na baba be hyem kena na maye ni yes wa answer that ono akasa ne kan wa ye video okay then he said that me John Dramani Mahama with another video John Dramani Mahama me say me ba nursing training allowance me na me de buy and I be betwam and obi a restore I realized that was a mistake but me sad ya babiem me say me de baba me maintain no me make sure say e betina honum and with there was an answer but how come that the third term listen to me the third term na kofoka you make sure Mahama goes to third term you be make sure say Mahama be third including the majority leader in parliament well if he was even saying it the president Mahama kept quiet did not say anything about it you know what President Mahama went to Japan okope bosia it in the kasa mu no so ne term no so a enya de obe contest bill that shouldn't be the case that thing should have been said here should have been said in this country because you are serving this country you are serving the people of Ghana and to the people of Ghana and I was serve omo and you know as I say who take advantage of any occasion then you make sure say obe kasa asam no na Ghana fuate fi wan kasa wanum for example yenya a First Republic when that Lumba and Co was where your friend say invited Azuma Nese was there the First Republic I am a city who invited all the citizens senior citizens and now udi omudi komo okasai you should have taken advantage to say this the 6th March the first 6th March you're organizing a Jubilee House you made a speech you should have said it because that's now by the 2 months you understand President Mahama has gotten a lot of platforms in this country. He could have taken that advantage to say, me John Dramani Mahama, the son of Wangwai Mahama, me say, me brenu dua, third term na me sikibim, but you kept quiet just simply because and Kofobeka say, oh, and a third term no the emanko, it means say, and the President Mahama born home thing, now he's enjoying it. If you do that, Fifi Kote is telling you that you don't love our party because he is the chief executive officer of the party and definitely he will seek re-election and the re-election will basically make sure that MDC maintains power in 2028. So we might maintain power at the Bakwa. The opposition will use to do campaign against that political party is a power drunk. Say MDC are power drunk. So Otuano Otete said, I have to shut this once and for all. And ever since he said that, nobody has spoken. Baby, the power, any jana or the cancer, we don't have a heart for him. And now let me tell you something. For me, since First Republic, I've seen who the Yaya as a general secretary for National Democratic Congress. I've seen Josie Ayi, who was accused of a bribe at the Free New Patriotic Party for the late Josai. I have seen General Sebin Ketia, our General Secretary for 4 elections, 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020 as a General Secretary. But I'm telling you, for what this man has said, he will, for now, this man has said, I'm telling you, if anything be here, Fifi Kote, I'm telling you, will be adjudged the best General Secretary for National Democratic Congress for the past, since the inception of Fourth Republic. For this thing that he has done. For this thing that he has done. Because there are a lot of people in the party. Everybody has kept quiet. Because people have interest to contest. People have interest to contest. And as Sabi President, and yet President Mahama and Kwana Sabi, or when him dear power bet me ruling National Democratic Congress. We have a lot of people. A lot of people in the party. So they are all lazy their boot to become president. Competent individuals, just like President Mahama, is in the party. So if people keep quiet, not some room or they cause the bar, then the opposition start picking 1 or 2 things. What about if a demonstration had hit a street? Nanka international community now capture say, oh, the Ghana president is preparing to change the constitution or go for the 3rd term. Everything and confer hit the street, it will destroy the NDC party. So Fifi Kote has really done well for shutting that people down. That's so. They are bootlickers, they are sycophants, they are all on sycophantic spending. And I don't by heart for this man. Okay, so in the next 5 minutes, let us examine 1 or 2 things that he said. And also, so I think that he got it right. He got it wrong. Now, Fifi Kote was saying, even the Jerry Rawlings Krana Waya, the founder of the party, no, nobody urged Jerry Rawlings to become your friend say in the fourth seek for third term. Okay, at that one, I disagree with him. Because I have said it over and over and over here. Some of us who read political books, I have read Working with Rawlings, penned by Professor Kwame Ahoy. If you read the Professor Kwame Ahoy books, now we reach a certain page, it tells it about the no succession plan and more plans. No succession plan and more plans. Okay, so no succession plan. Professor Kwame Ahoy, I say no succession plan. Again, at that particular time because the no succession plan, they almost started hatching agenda B in 1999. All what they were doing is President Rawlings, because they did a research and realized that Sir Rawlings acquired. There's no way that any new candidate can beat President Kufuor in 2000 election, and this will go to opposition. So they wanted to find a way for Rawlings to continue to get the third term. So let's start reading the no succession plan, as the Fifth Equator said that nobody urged President Rawlings to continue for third term. So DJ Natibubu, please help me for me. So go to no succession plan. Okay, so no succession plan. This one coming from Professor Kwame Ahoy, and he said that it was clear that there was. He's talking about the prior to 2000 elections. Prior to 2000 elections, so this probably will be 1998 and then 1999. And he said that it was clear that there was no official NDC succession plan to follow President Rawlings' exit. Some put bluntly that the NDC never allowed the party to develop institutionally to the point where it could develop or manage a succession. Just say, or say it was near clear say. NDC for entimi amomo party na nini oba build the personalities our party mu a say President Rawlings ni one ma sankofo can take over. Let's move on to another one. Let's go. Move on. Okay, or say Professor Kwame Ahoy said they were of the view that there existed an elite conspiracy to secure Rawlings' endorsement within the context of program of Rawlings' self-succession. Just say there was a plan to Rawlings self-succession. Rawlings self-succession, just a Rawlings nankasa ebesa bedi odon kwasa na hwade. You understand? So Rawlings self-succession, either directly or proxy. And the rumors also abounded about unofficial succession plans that had been hatched or were being hatched by individuals or groups within the party. One such rumor was to the effect that the NDC had planned to enable President Rawlings to run for a third term. This one coming from the founder of the party, one of the co-founders of the party, Professor Kwame Ahoy. So Professor Kwame Ahoy is telling us that there were an agenda for NDC for Biho and Penufobio consulting lawyers and judges to make sure that Rawlings ebeko third term. So what Fifi Kwete said, I think that holiday he got it wrong, because listen, Professor Kwame Ahoy is the co-founder of the party and he knows much about the party than Fifi Kwete. So I'm sure Kwame Ahoy wouldn't be wrong. So let's go to more plans. Not go to another one. Push it. Let's go. Okay, I'll say no succession plan. Say Professor Kwame Ahoy said that plan will involve getting Supreme Court to render a Rosemary Ekwam type judgment in which a plaintiff will be found to try to convince the court to interpret the Constitution to mean that president could run for more than 2 terms. Okay, so I say plan na no mo hatching e bi ni say Mr. Meridi Kakana to TV ni so amame. Plans na no omo hatching e bi ni say omo beko Supreme Court no ma use Rosemary Ekwam type judgment. Who is Rosemary Ekwam? Madam Rosemary Ekwam. And in 1996, when NPP for Beko Prime Minister said on Beko Prime Minister, Papa bi ani efeno renowned economist to China in Ashanti region. Ye friend Mr. Kwame Pianim. Ono nenenka ono no wa try kubda and kopeso tu abine efree eso. You understand? No peso tu abine free so. Eti open new chapter in the new constitution. No, not just say Kwame bring me back. Me read another atoso. Did you open the new constitution? No, not Kwame Pianim free say. I don't know, but we are told to say only Madam Rosemary Kwame she share Rosemary kwam na de kwame pianim court say emrebi na ko ba beto abayagu etu omo be interpretation of that in say papa no betimi a contest and want to contest. The Supreme Court is want to contest. In fact, that time if you had contested, ko betimi a win. So Rosemary kwam type judgment etika Omonko Supreme Court ni enko force ni enya interpretation of the Constitution, the Article 66 no na ke say 2 terms ni means or say president could run for more than 2 terms no. What is the meaning? So that is the plan. That's our plan. Let's move on. Then Professor Kwame Nahoy went ahead to say that what? Go ahead, yes, Shadi. More plans. Let's see more plans. Okay, so see more plans. Professor Kwame Nahoy said that another of such rumors involved plans for a straightforward attempt by the NDC government to amend the constitution through a referendum to allow for president to run for more than 2 terms. He said by claim that I was not aware of any such plans existing. I'm sure that if there had been any such plans, I would have been one of the first to know. That I did not know must mean that there were no such plans. Or say the another plan and on person boy and say on person will change the constitution no echo referendum near change the constitution no na ka President Rawlings as a contested for the third term and was say then as manti se kamemeti a no me hold man pa and kameme first person and kame who said he was trying to chase say and na se me man tintinu na sa chese sa asem no enye no kre o person o kire we say uka book na the knowledge na the throw book no person watch say sa plan on hache na me onka ho muteni no onka ho. So that is that. Okay, do we have more plans of NDC? Okay, so see more plans. Professor Awai said, however, some people disagree with me. They argue that my non-awareness of effort towards the third term for Rawlings did not mean that that option did not receive serious consideration among certain sections of the party. They think it only meant that that option was abandoned before my input were required. He said, according to the view, there were many power blocks around the President Rawlings. So, Professor Kwame Nahoy said, and conforming in the address say no so no one system ntilesa ade na no kre na ade no no kre pa. So what Fifi Kwete is saying is in Rawlings nobody I wanted Rawlings to continue for 30 years. It is never true. I believe Professor Kwame Nahoy than Fifi Kwete, though I have crowned Fifi Kwete the best general secretary for the since Fourth Republic in NDC. Honestly speaking, for able to say about Bontini, about the Casasana. But at that point in the day, I think that you should have come again. So, congratulations to you, Mr. Fifi Kwete. You have really done well. All right, let me take some water, please. So, where are we now? All right. So, that is that. Fifi Kwete, you have really done well. Asemoya wakapade. He did not fear anybody. You don't fear anybody. He doesn't fear anybody. Well, see, their bootlickers were shut suddenly down. It will be what Pepe be say. What person will maneuver finding a way for President Mahama to continue. He has shut it down. That is that. Okay, so let's move on. I have more messages here. May read it in the shortest time. Yes, messages about. I'll take my time and read them. We say if you Sandra Benefo. Or did you attempt Okatachi Nali Arafat? Hello, the Frimpong Ziega. Trust you are fine. Wish you recommend you for all you have been doing for your anonymous nephew Okatachi. I don't get it. Aminu Idris was Ziega. Keep it up. Good work, Aminu Dollar. Thank you very much. We are seeing fancy. So we are. I say greetings to Honorable Wisdom or Sebuama MC. Nowadays we are enjoying a good governance. All right, on and on and on and on and on and on. We all see good Nanaji my prime person, good show. Nana from Ziega, James Asiedu, and also edited Jaba. All right, so let's move on. All right, more messages about the audio bar. We take our time here and read the amount. We have 20 minutes to go. So yeah, let's watch. Okay. Abrantie bi asem I dey on detail my can do kwasem yes I don't know, but for the purpose of the program and myself I have to do this. Abrantie bi echo Facebook over the weekend no me can say be our morning show and Abrantie bi obviously your friend say leading here say had the dinner Lookman. Yes, a friend Lookman. Okay, Lookman GH. I'm sure so be NDC. And I'll call Facebook, no culture, and want some 10. This is about 3 paragraphs. But I'll take my time, no my answer with just 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll say a certain presenter on Kessben TV by name Nana Frimpong Ziega consistently, Fatu TV Nusumae, consistently present himself as a repository of knowledge on every subject. Unfortunately, his commentary often reveals a worrying lack of constitutional understanding. Yet he delivers his claims with unwarranted confidence. On one occasion, he alleged that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia intended to appoint former President John Agyekum Kufuor as his running mate. This assertion clearly betrays ignorance of the 1992 Constitution, particularly Article 66, which imposes a 2-term limit on the presidency. A former president who has exhausted the constitutional term limit cannot validly serve as vice president, given the succession role assigned to the vice president under Article 60. Such claims should never be made by anyone with even a basic understanding of Ghana's constitutional framework. More recently, the same presenter claimed there is an intense friction between His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Fifi Fiavikwete, allegedly stemming from events prior to the 2020 general elections. According to him, let's move on. Let's move. Fast, please. Let's move to the other one. Okay, I see. According to him, President Jerry Rawlings of blessed memory had proposed Fifi Kwete as a running mate to JDM, but JDM supposedly rejected the suggestion. He further asserted without evidence that this alleged naps explains why Fifi Kwete later described call for a 3rd presidential term for JDM as psychophancy. In any attempt to lend credibility to these claims, Nana Frimpong Ziega stated that he studied psychology and could therefore infer the existence of this alleged friction merely from Fifi Kwete's posture. During public statement, he went on to speculate that this supposed presentation of him as running mate was the reason Fifi Kwete chose not to contest parliamentary elections again after serving 2 terms as a member of parliament. These assertions are speculative, unsubstantiated, intellectual, irresponsible. Most troubling was his claim that the NDC could elect presidential candidates and subsequently choose John Dramani Mahama as a running mate, or compel a duly selected running mate to resign in order to replace that person with JDM. This is constitutionally untenable and demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of Ghana's electoral constitutional process. Throughout his episode, okay, I'm not interested in the down one. Okay, so let me take it one by one. This one, let me take it one by one. I said throughout the episode, blah blah. Hassan, you was talking about Kojo Preko Dankwa, which I don't want to go there. So let's start again. Let's start the first one again. Put him on the first battle. Okay. So this one now all can was no. President Kufuor there no. Me say President Kufuor ni ade battle say Article 66 no. Emma President Kufuor ho kwan emma ne ba be ye no. Me the beka the last one now or kan no. The 5 paragraph no, the 5th paragraph no. No ma born in na etofa adema. But let me start from here. Was it the same presenter claim there's an intense friction between His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Fifi Kwete allegedly stemming event prior to 2024 general election. And let's go. I say according to him, let's read it again. The second one, according to him, Jerry Rawlings of blessed memory had proposed Fifi Kwete as a running mate to JDM, but JDM supposedly rejected the suggestion. He further asserted without evidence that this alleged knob explains why Fifi Kwete later described for calls for a 3rd presidential candidate. Listen to me. Me a broadcast journalist. Yeah, investigations. And some are yet any no my you. And then in nani the baba to radio so. See a can now radio so Ghana bet me ashe. I'm telling you by fact. Before 2020 election, after when the COVID was at its peak, and we got that information. Listen to me, because this is a desperate secret. In as much as I should not mention, and I cannot and I wouldn't mention the people that told me they were NDC gurus. I was sitting I miss them. Me no am net ho. And no more kasa asem no. And there are 3 people. Different occasion around July 2020 when the electionary campaign another NDC member that I'm very closer to also told me that I didn't want to 50 kwetu. I didn't know mama adena adane. So it gave me the idea that the President Mahama wanted the 50 kwete to become a running mate. Now listen, 50 kwete went to 50 kwete. Okay, let me come back again. So Mahama want 50 kwete be a running mate, but Ebia because of something and was switching. Now me, I'm not an NDC. I don't have any political party. But let me tell you something. Somebody who was an NDC person, in the person of Stephen Atubiga, said this on radio and television, and nobody took him on. But if me, I'm not able to mention the people that told me, and that's your Okromafu, because somewhere I checked about 6 years ago, I can make a radio so I can make Canada. But Sementian can't somewhere da. Now, Fenamaka, you understand? How come that Atubiga can a long time there? Your people did not take him on. But maybe Diana make can name Amoka wasam. Let's read what Atubiga said. Atubiga said the screenshot of the Ghana web quickly. Let's watch what Atubiga said. There was a time. Let's watch Stephen Atubiga the screenshot. The following picture. Let's go, please. Okay. No, put it here. Factory studio Susumami. Let's start where the picture is. The picture ne ewono. Factory screen is Sumami, please. Factory screen and send out 2 TV no Sumami, please. So that is that way. Atubiga. Not this one. Okay. Ta 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 da 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 da. I think that we have a problem here. So now let's read a couple of messages here. We say Benji in Facebook Saka message the Golden Boy Anas or say Golden Boy Anas Mampontin Kwabre or say good afternoon. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama doesn't said at anywhere that he will go to a third term. Yes. Okay, so that is that. All right. Because of time factor, you just need to fast pass. We also see Kwete left Parliament because Rollins promised him 2020 Vice President Atubiga. This is what Atubiga said way back. He said this to 2023, 8 July 2023, and Atubiga said this. But some of us we knew this still long time. We knew it because the reason why Fifi Kwete anchor Parliament Yemu Bini and Tiase. Fifi Kwete went to Parliament with Okujata Blakwa. He went to Parliament with Kwame Agbaja. He went to Parliament with Adabo. He went to Parliament with Kwame Enyimadu. He went to a lot of people. But only in a secret re-election and they are still there. And when Fifi Kwete won his primaries, he told this country that say, I found you better Ghana for how you see your parliament. I found you better Ghana for how parliamentary business are being done. He said it is on record. And somebody who has said this over 2 times the parliament and Kasemi Kobium. So me, I'm telling you by fact that this is what Atubiga said. Atubiga was an NDC person. Atubiga said that Fifi Kwete was promised. The reason why Fifi Kwete did not go to Parliament, it is not me alone. Maybe the other day I cannot mention the people that told me because it's an industrial secret. Obi tie bibi no NPP NDC CPP nia menene na mo next time on ka bibi nchame. So we also need to see a dear home come out all the time near this nyansa. Okay, so that is that. Now also mention say President Kofo ebetimi asaba beye President Obi or former president obetimi aba beye President Biom. It boils down to what I was about to discuss, that President Mahama can be president again without touching the constitution. I have said it, and I'm open for discussion in this country, and I'm happy. Say, as someone be kind of Kessben, matches so many could do prep dankwa, ye career, it generated a lot of discussions, and some of the lawyers are for screenshot the discussion that they were having on their platforms, a screenshot and sent to me. Somebody like Mr. Kofi Azar, lawyer Kofi Azar from UK, were responding. And so so I'm proud that I have sparked something, and everybody is talking about it. Now let's start the journey. Now if we say okay, so let's go to the Article 66 Clause 1. How President Mahama can be president again? Because of time factor, I'll bring back next week, because we are about to go for a legal tour. So I'll bring back. Let's go to Article 66 1. What the guy was saying, oh, now, or your president, yes, I know, but listen to me. Ghana, the framers of this constitution, they never knew, say, there was a lacuna in the constitution. There was a hole in the constitution, president. And I'm going to justify to you. So, put it here, please. Okay, so this is an article 66.1. Okay, so this is Article 66.1. But factory screen is mommy, please. Factory screen is my son. TV. So, all right, we will say a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 3 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. So, we'll say nipa bia ye elected, underline the word elected as president. Underline the word elected. Okay. Then bring me back. I say a person elected as a president shall subject to clause 3 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in as president. Eti obianya 4 years, beginning from the day now you sworn in. Yeah, then you sworn in 7 January. A person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. A person shall not be elected. The first one was say a person elected as president. A person elected as president. And was say a person shall not be elected. Okay, say shall not be elected. He's talking about what? Was say Article 66, term of office of president. So term of office of president, one can say term of office of vice president. Was it term of office of president? But when you read the constitution, it said that the vice president and the president are all elected on a single ticket. And to obu ni nani ya tu amuswaba. We tell you, obu ni nani ya tu amuswaba. Eti ya electu obu ya. And somebody now been 4 years, then it will continue. But in the Article 66, no, was separating president. One can say a term of office of president and the vice president. We tell you, one can say a term of office of president and the vice president. Was a term of president. A term of president. And the president has 2 terms. Was elected. The word, underline the word elected. Okay, so let's move on to Article 66.3 quickly. Article 66.3. All right, quickly. Okay, so 66.3 was say term of office of president. The office of president shall become vacant on the expiration of the period specific, blah, 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 blah. If the incumbent, okay, no problem. Let's move on to Article 60 Clause 6. Article 60 Clause 6, followed by Article 60 Clause 6. As for this one, it's not all that important. Article 60 Clause 6. Okay. I'll say the president may. Article 60 Clause 6. This is a 4. My goodness. Article 60 Clause 6, please. Oh gosh. All right, no problem. I said put it here for me. Many. Okay. I'll say. Okay. Also, Article 60 Clause 6. Let's move to Article 68. Article 68, please. Na fatu TV no sumame. Fatu bahano mame. Let's go to Article 68 clause 6. Clause 2, sorry, Article 68 clause 2. Oh gosh. Oh. Is there a problem? Yan next week and answer day. Because your time now so catch you beduba. We have to go. We have to go. Okay, so no, this one. I say Article 68. Oh gosh. Article 68. Yes. Okay, my man, just 1 minute. Time now I beat me pa mo fanche. Say sometimes machine. I don't know why do me kwame so na sa no ma be sin na, but we have to rebuke them in the name of Jesus. Okay, so this is Article 66. I shouldn't have done this, but the guy mentioned Article 66. I wanted to take the Article 66 off because Article 66, it talks about the conditions of office of the president. Maybe can was but per what the guy is saying. I'm telling you that there's a lacuna here. President Mahama betimi afaso jababe president. Now listen to me. Was it the president shall not, or say the condition of office of president? The president shall not, on leaving office as president, hold any office of profit or emolument except with the permission of parliament in other establishment, either directly or indirectly, other than that of the state. Just say, obi a president. What's our president? No, say ubiye waduma conditions say what president di emu no. Say ubiye waduma ni na emrama ho kwa ma wonya aduma. Wutimi nya aduma bia. Aduma dem fa so be bro. Say you direct or indirectly, you cannot do any job. Say you private to aban you wutimi nya aduma ebetua woka because oman ni ebetua woka o garden boy or house boy waduane awudie o fridge ma ye feel o bodyguards wan bibia o trips ade be kwa abroche ni na no oman no e na be hwe e de ama enti ni na oman na hwe o car o be sesa no ufie a wodam efie ni e be sibienu de ama ba ko enkran ha se ene ba bia wan kasa o pese yakosi ni ede ma enti wontimi nya adwuma bia nemom wo sesa o pese wo ye adwuma bia tie ni yo o pese wo ye adwuma bia go to parliament, ask permission from parliament. Now parliament approve now and say what me asa akwa yes adwuma no. Na mom tie ne yo. Wo se se obekọ parliament. Na mom se adwuma no, se eye other than that of the state. Say your oman adwuma, mutie. Wo se your oman adwuma eno hu hia so obekọ parliament. Say your oman adwuma, hu hia so obekọ parliament. Edie na your oman adwuma. You bet me appointing a former president amanaka Ghana Cocoa Board. You bet me appointing former president amanako to. You bet me appointing Ghana president, a former president, NPA boss, your mayor Juma. You bet me appointing amanako Ghana Commercial Bank or Mayor Juma, including vice president. Vice president, your mayor Juma, including vice president. Because when you read Article 66, there's no status bar. I will say, Ubi be vice president. Sorry, obey president. Ontimi ba be vice president. Was it Danny Pano? Wow, 10 wanasuno. You can never be elected. You can never be elected again. Read the constitution again. Was it you can never be elected? It means that President Mahama ontimi contestation and sambe tono swaba and he elected. Ontimi elected. That one is there, it's shut down. And now Article 66 no conditions no. Article 66 no office of the president. He did not say that office of the vice president and the president. And that's the president and the vice president. It is that word office of the president and the vice president. So can say or the vice president can it tells you that the vice president also have two terms. It one can vice president and can and the 66 no so can try and say would mean Jamia elect as a vice president. Was it president? Would me elect me a president? It will say no, you bet me appointed President Mahama other than that of the state. I'm an vice president. So you can say NDC call election. Next NDC win election. na President Mahama Tifia, the vice president and resign. You bet me appointed President Mahama as a vice president because you appointed vice president. And looking at when Professor Mills when President Mills take over, every president, you have to appoint a vice president in the person of Abisata. It's your appointed vice president. So it's Salakuna ne Dahasin. I say other than that of the state. Other than that of the state means that Omayantuma Benisadiano, Vini vice president. Then let's move to Article 60 clauses. I think you ever read the Article 60 clauses. No? It is on the vice president to be appointed as a vice president. What does the Article 60 clause 6 quickly? Your time now soon. Your former time now. So Article 60 clause 6 was Article 60 clause 5 and 6 was a vice president as successor to the presidency. Was it the vice president shall before commencing to perform the functions of the vice president take and subscribe the oath of allegiance and the vice presidential oath set out in the second . This one is not important. Where read this says now was say whenever the president dies, resigns or is removed from office, the vice president shall assume office as president for an unexpired term of office of the president with effect from the date of the death, resignation or removal of the president. It is a Obama vice president no. Say president no one according to the Article 60 clause 6 no. Say president no one he becomes the president. The vice president becomes president. If the president do too quiet, he becomes the president. If the president dies, president resigns or removed from the office, the vice president becomes president. In any case, was the vice president the president are elected on a single ticket? They are elected on a single ticket. You understand? But he's talking about the terms. He did not say that vice presidential, we don't say that when you're vice president, wouldn't mean your vice president to be able to die. Would the vice president be a president, wouldn't mean some be a vice president running mate to be able to die. There was no way in the constitution, one can be a what's when you're president? You can never be elected more than 2 terms. Elected. It means that President Mahama ought to be somebody be dressing and to swab near elected. And then the old team in your side, name per the constitution, a bet me a quack one, you bet me a point, as a vice president. You bet me appointing as a vice president. You bet me a President Mahama, and that is where I also get my problem because that is that. So let's move your time now. But sure other lawyers are no more discussing this to Facebook and your friend say Kwaku Azamo put it on it Kekenianko, put it on it Kekenianko. The Kwaku Azamo and the other what they were discussing on their platform, WhatsApp platforms nearly. Let's watch it. The one that I sent you recently. So they were all saying the same thing. That there's a lacuna. Your friend said the constitution. There's a lot of windows, lot of holes in the constitution. Yet to me elected. You too about you want to be some cognizance. You also we also Benjamin Atiedu rights. Can a former president who has served the maximum term limit be elected as a vice president in Ghana? Yes, under the Ghana constitution, a former president who has served the maximum 2 terms may lawfully be elected as a vice president. Or kind of he wrote it. Who else again? Another lawyer, Sierra. Sierra is also a constitutional lawyer. Or also the same thing. Oh no. It is not me that want President Mahama to become a president again. I know, but me a broadcast journalist. You perceive a crack here. You perceive a dear banning for can wasn't. You perceive a raising baby. Raising the bar, how you did the atom, and you atom the deal where I sit on that be. And then I in the idea, but this is what we are able to do. I discuss what this country so that the Constitutional Review Committee can see that lacuna near see no kind. But I'm telling you, next week I'll come back. But say this President Mahama can be president again through this. Thank you very much. Kessben ya fa time no pa fache. And the time it meant me read more messages, more fache me read more messages. Begin the Frimpong Ziega. Next week I'll come back. The best church will be. We'll talk about the NPP flag bearership race now. Danny any DJ Natibubu and Vincent Juku and a technical production in the Bame and a guy Yao Pages and his brothers in Kumasi streaming on Eddie Emame. We did it now from Ziega. Nyamia Domochina. Sorry. Monday, Michelle Money shows. Any the digest. Bye bye.